The 80s are here to stay. Why the warm weather is here for the next few days and a cold front on Easter Sunday.
RPD cruiser crash. 2 Raleigh police officers and 2 others are in the hospital after this crash. Well, we're hearing about their conditions this morning.
Leading the pack, a new era for NC State men's basketball begins as Justin Gainey is announced as head coach. What fans are hoping to see from this change in leadership.
A new era for NC State basketball. We'll get to that story in just a bit. We thank you for joining us here on your Wednesday, April Fools. I'm Laura Levine in for Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Levitt. Yes, because it's April Fools, don't trust nothing today.
Nothing at all.
WRAL News, your place for coverage here in the Triangle and surrounding area. We've got meteorologist Chris Michaels, who you also can trust with your weather forecast for today.
I appreciate that. Yeah, the jokes are going to be held to a minimum, I think, today. Temperatures in the 80s heading through the next several afternoons. It's a stretch of June-like warmth to get the month of April started out. Fayetteville and Clinton, you're in the upper 50s. Everywhere else at about 60 to 62 degrees. South Hill and Roxborough, good morning. And thanks for watching. Yeah, temperatures in the low 60s. Warming a bit more today compared to yesterday. So we hit 82 at RDU yesterday. Forecast high around 86. Mix of clouds and sunshine and maybe a stray shower or storm toward the evening, most of which would be near and to the west of the Triangle. But temperatures stay in the 80s for days at a time. Rain chances, unfortunately, pretty limited. By Easter Sunday, tracking a front that changes all of that. I'll walk you through the changes and why you don't have to go canceling all plans just yet, coming up in a few minutes.
Chris, thank you. Let's take a live look at your morning commute right now as we're looking at I-85 at Duke Street. We can see traffic picking up just a little bit, but still very light here at 6 a.m. on your Wednesday morning. We're not tracking any major accidents right now or any major delays, so drive time looking good so far. Be sure to tune us in on the radio as you're heading out the door on 101.5 HD3. This morning, 2 Raleigh police officers and 2 other people are now in the hospital after a crash involving an RPD cruiser. This happened last night on Hawkins and Kennedy Streets. WRAL's Ali Kadlabar is live at the police department downtown. And Ali, that scene cleared early this morning.
Yeah, it was a lengthy investigation, Laura, because 4 people got hurt. This was a serious crash, and we want to take you to that scene. This is video from the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see the damage to the front and back of those vehicles. You can also see debris in the street. Now, this all happened just before 8:30 on Hawkins and Kennedy Streets. 4 people got hurt. 2 were Raleigh police officers. Now, they are all in the hospital, expected to be okay, even though they did have some serious injuries. This morning, we are reaching out to police, working to get an update on their conditions, as well as if anybody is facing any charges and just what led up to this crash. Reporting live in Raleigh, Ali Kadlabar, WRAL News.
Well, power is back on this morning for most customers after a crash on Glenwood Avenue in Raleigh. Police say that a driver hit a utility pole in the 5 Points area, knocking out power to hundreds of people. What you're seeing here is video captured from the WRAL breaking news tracker. You can see the teams there removing debris, and no serious injuries were reported. Police don't believe, though, that the driver was impaired.
This morning, Raleigh police are also investigating who fired shots into a car. This happened just before 1 a.m. on Glenwood Avenue near Oak Park Road. The WRAL breaking news tracker saw bullet holes in that car. Investigators say no one was hurt. We're working to learn what led up to the shooting and if anyone has been arrested.
Today, a new era is set to begin for the NC State men's basketball team. The school is introducing Justin Gainey as the new head coach for the Wolfpack, and we've been trying to get kind of a check on the vibe, how people are feeling about that today. And WRAL's Kelsey Coffey is live outside the Bell Tower at NC State this morning. And Kelsey, fans are kind of hoping that this will offer some stability after Will Wade's exit just this week.
Yes, Chris, and you mentioned there, we're just trying to check the vibe for the fans. And so far what we heard is that the fans say that the vibes are pretty good. So Justin Gainey will soon be the man leading the pack. In an emergency meeting yesterday, the NC State Board of Trustees unanimously approved his 5-year contract. Now, the details of that contract have not been released yet, but Gainey is a familiar face for the Wolfpack basketball program. He was a star player at NC State in the late 90s. He was also the director of operations from 2008 to 2009. He's been the associate head coach at the University of Tennessee for the last 4 seasons. We spoke with the sports editor for NC State student newspaper Technician. He says hiring Gainey was the right choice.
hiring a hometown guy who played here for 4 years, who knows the system, knows the culture, knows the fan base. I think it'll be very rejuvenating for both the students and the fans in general.
Gainey will officially be introduced as the new head coach this afternoon at a news conference that begins at 2 o'clock. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Raleigh.
Now, in addition to the fallout after Will Wade's exit last week, you can also find more about Gainey's coming to NC State on WRAL's YouTube channel. We dive into his coaching resume and why he was hired. Just go to YouTube and search WRAL. Today, the man accused of shooting 3 people at a Sampson County apartment will be in court today. Clinton police arrested Ricardo Ramsey yesterday. He's facing 6 counts of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill. And the shooting happened on Monday. This was on Eastover Avenue. Police have not shared the conditions of any of the people hurt or a possible motive in this shooting. He's expected to be in court just around 9 o'clock this morning. And this morning, a woman is facing murder charges in connection with a deadly crash. That happened in Fayetteville. And this was back in February. As 32-year-old Joelle Outlaw is charged with second-degree murder, murder of an unborn child, and driving while impaired, among other things. Police say she was driving the wrong way on the All-American Freeway when she crashed into another car. A passenger in Outlaw's car died, and the driver of the other car was actually pregnant. Police say her unborn child died because of this crash. Outlaw is in jail without bond. New in the war in Iran, there were new missile attacks from Iranian-backed Houthi rebels in southern Israel this morning, but there are no immediate reports of impacts there. Meanwhile, U.S. Central Command released this video you're seeing of forces reportedly striking underground military targets in Iran. CENTCOM wrote on X last night the attacks were to, quote, further degrade the country's ability to project power beyond its border. More than 3,000 people have been killed across the Middle East since Operation Epic Fury began.
Happening tonight, President Donald Trump will address the nation with an important update on Iran. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt announced the news in a social media post yesterday. This also comes as he considers withdrawing from the United States and the United States withdrawing from NATO. His remarks are scheduled for 9 p.m. This comes after the president told reporters that the war may end in 2 to 3 weeks with no need for a deal with Tehran. So it's because of the war that, of course, we keep seeing those gas prices go up. The nation's average gallon of gas surpassed $4 as of yesterday. In North Carolina, the average is now $3.90. In Raleigh, $3.93, and in Durham, $3.96. You can find WRAL's fuel tracker on WRAL by searching the word fuel. It'll help you find the cheapest gas prices wherever you go.
And here in the WRAL Live Center, we are getting closer. Another live look at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, just a few hours away from the Artemis 2 mission, the first time that a crew from NASA will be heading back to the moon since the Apollo era more than 50 years ago. On board this rocket will be NC State grad Christina Cook. So as a result, NC State will be hosting a watch party tonight. It'll get started right around 5:30 in the Talley Student Union. Conditions have to be absolutely perfect for this launch, which is right now scheduled for 6:30. So far, things are looking good, so fingers crossed.
Carly, thank you. Happening today, Rocky Mount leaders are meeting with state leaders to share a financial recovery plan. In a recent letter, the local government commission outlined the city's dire financial condition and the need to immediately cut spending. On Monday, the city council voted to raise utility rates to help generate more revenue. The city has been trying to address a multi-million-dollar budget shortfall for months. Along with the rate hikes, they've also turned to layoffs. WRAL will be at today's meeting to learn about the city's plans to get out of the red.
And also happening today, Laura, the North Carolina Utilities Commission will hear about Duke Energy's adjusted rates proposal. The company is looking to increase residential electricity rates by 18% over the next 2 years. That could mean customers have to pay roughly $34 more per month by 2028. The proposal comes as power bills continue to climb. And today's meeting is virtual. It starts at 6:30 p.m.
Happening today, fundamental changes to how North Carolina students learn math are getting a second look. The State Department of Public Instruction recently issued its first draft. It emphasizes teaching students math through real-life problem solving. It also eliminates Math 3 and Math 4 and requires students to take other math classes aligned with their career interests.
In other places, all kinds of states are pursuing kind of the same idea that we need to make math more relevant to students. Students are feeling disconnected from it. They're not interested in it. They're thinking, why do I need to know any of these things?
Later this month, DPI is scheduled to release its ideas for a second draft of its proposed changes to the State Board of Education. No vote is likely for several more months.
Today, Duke Energy is also conducting a scheduled siren test at the Harris nuclear plant. Chatham County says people in that area will hear a steady, full-volume tone for about 30 seconds. Again, this is only a test. In a real emergency, sirens will sound multiple times.
Your time now, 6:09. Zebulon Park closed. Lead was found in the soil at a Wake County park that sits on an old landfill. Why did it take 2 years for the full area to be closed?
And paying more to park. Prices are rising at RDU today. How much more you can expect to pay when you leave for your trip?
And so far, March was the 4th warmest on record. Now April starting out much the same. I'll show you why we see a consistent stretch of 80s this week. Plus the latest on a cold front passing through on Easter Sunday. We'll help you plan around it. Coming up.
And we have a look here at last night's winning Mega Millions numbers: 18, 35, 45, 60, and 65. And the gold Mega Ball is 17.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
6:13, as is tradition here at WRAL, we light the tower in pink every Wednesday as a reminder that breast health is important, not just in the month of October, but all throughout the year. Temperatures upper 50s, lower 60s right now. Raleigh is at 62, Lewisburg 59, Goldsboro at about 60 degrees. Smithfield and Selma at 59, so is Irwin, so is Fayetteville. So overall, nice, comfortable start to the morning. Temperatures continue climbing, and we're going to add on a few degrees compared to yesterday. Upper 70s by midday, and highs today in the mid 80s. Certainly breaking a little bit of a sweat out there, whether it's work or play outside. Over the next few days, green light for today and tomorrow. Throwing the caution light on Fridays. We could see a few isolated showers and storms, and once again on Easter Sunday. But we don't need to go canceling all plans for Easter Sunday. I'll show you the timing to some showers and storms, plus when some cooler air arrives. It's coming up in less than 5 minutes.
Chris, thank you. Let's take a live look at the roads this morning. This is I-40 at Aviation Parkway. And wow, traffic is beginning to pick up here at 6:14 on your Wednesday morning. Overall, though, you can see no major backups or delays in this area. We also aren't tracking any major delays across Wake County and the Triangle essentially at this time. If you're heading out the door, be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
This morning, the State Health Department and Governor Josh Stein are holding a community event to recognize April as Child Abuse Prevention Month. This free and family-friendly event will feature food and entertainment, and the goal is to remind everyone they have a responsibility to create the conditions in which children and families need to thrive. Today's event starts at 11 a.m. at John Chavis Memorial Park. Also happening today, starting today, parking at RDU, it's going to be more expensive. Economy parking is now $14.50, an increase of more than $2. And Premier parking is up to $34 a day. The changes were approved in the new RDU budget.
The town of Garner is warning about a new scam. People are trying to collect payment from the town through invoices by sending unverified emails. Town leaders say you should only receive emails about payments from SmartGov portal, and you should only make payments that way. If you get a suspicious invoice or message, contact the town's Development Services Department.
The U.S. Supreme Court ruled Colorado's ban on conversion therapy violates the free speech rights of a conservative Christian therapist, and this was not the outcome LGBTQ+ advocates wanted. The decision sends that case back to lower courts and could have national implications. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson was the only dissenter in this.
Happening today, President Trump plans to attend oral arguments at the Supreme Court for a case that could end birthright citizenship in the United States. The president announced at an executive order signing event. The arguments will focus on whether a January 2025 executive order the president signed was legal. It sought to limit birthright citizenship to people who have at least one parent who is a U.S. citizen or a legal permanent resident. This would be the first sitting president to ever attend oral arguments. A Las Vegas performer is suing Taylor Swift for trademark infringement over her latest album's showgirl branding. Singer and columnist Maren Wade claims Swift's album and Wade's newspaper column turned show titled Confessions of a Showgirl are too similar. The suit claims Swift's team was alerted that her album title could be confused with an existing trademark, but Swift used it anyway. Representatives for Swift have not commented on the suit.
A Wake County park that sits on top of an old landfill. It's now closed because lead was found in the soil. It was first reported in 2024 at Gill Street Park in Zebulon, and the town previously closed parts of the park because an environmental firm recommended this. However, other parts of the park stayed open. Well, town leaders say it wasn't until the state investigated further that they decided to just close the whole thing. We did ask why the park wasn't closed when the lead was first discovered 2 years ago.
Were there conversations about closing it at that time?
Yeah, we asked based on the data that we had available to us what remediation steps needed to be taken. We took all the steps that we were advised to take.
The State Department of Environmental Quality is investigating this. The next steps will include a plan to make that park safe again.
We are here at the WRAL Severe Weather Desk, and another warm day in store for us, Chris.
Yeah, definitely. It's starting out in the 60s this morning, and we're starting out with a great view of the full moon.
Yes,
to think that we're launching people around that today.
Insane, right?
Nuts. Yeah, it really is. And hey, speaking of launching, temperatures are going to be taking flight as we go through the rest of the week, warming all week long and taking you into Easter Sunday. But let's start you out with a look at temperatures across the board with that live look at Lake Gaston. Fayetteville's at 59, Raleigh's at 62, Goldsboro and Southern Pines at about 60 degrees. So as you're taking the dog for a walk, a nice start to the day for that. Temperature around 61 at 7 o'clock in the morning. As we push toward 9 o'clock, 67, 11 o'clock, we're already in the mid-70s. Look at that, high temperatures today in the middle 80s. So for some perspective, we hit 82 yesterday. So we're just going to take that up a few degrees. Most of us around 84 to 86 with a mix of fair weather clouds and sunshine and a little dose of humidity out there, but nothing to really tap into that. So we're just really kind of relying on terrain. That's why the mountains see a better chance of showers and storms today, whereas here we are 1 p.m., bone dry once again. After 4 or 5 p.m., maybe a stray shower or storm spitting out near and to the west of Wake County. But as you go beyond 10 p.m. or so, you lose the heat of the day and you lose the ingredients that are conducive for showers and storms to develop. More of the same heading into Thursday. In fact, tomorrow we've actually got a lower storm chance. Friday, it's up to about 30%. Saturday, it's only 20%. Really can't do much with that in terms of the drought and the pollen levels. So we await this cold front that comes through on Easter Sunday. Still going to be warm ahead of it, right? See the wind arrows there coming in out of the south. So we'll be in the 80s through Easter Sunday. The latest timing of this looks like most showers and storms push in out of the west after 4 or 5 p.m. So sunrise services, Easter egg hunts, things like that should be good to go before cooling off heading into early next week. So we'll put a bow on it here with the 7-day forecast. And again, early April starting out feeling more like late May, early June. Temperatures low to mid 80s here from now through Easter Sunday with our nighttime lows only in the low to mid 60s. Don't throw away the jacket just yet. I mean, you're not going to need it for 60s Monday and Tuesday of next week, but the mornings will be a little on the chilly side. We'll wake up to temperatures in the 40s on Tuesday and Wednesday mornings of next week, guys.
Okay, Chris, thank you. Taking a live look at the roads this morning, we have a look here at I-85 at Duke Street, and you can see traffic moving nice and smoothly here in this area. Our senses are picking up a serious crash right now on US 1 Alternate and Main Street. That's the westbound lanes near Capitol Boulevard. So we're working to gather more information about that. Overall, not seeing any major impacts right now to travel as you're heading out the door. Be sure to tune us in on the radio at 101.5 HD3.
Your time is 6:20 this morning. Increasing bear population. Why North Carolina is warning people from Raleigh all the way to the coast to be aware.
And a reminder, if you see breaking news, have a story tip, or take video or pictures of the weather, please report it to us. You can go to WRAL.com/report it to send your video, pictures, or tips to our news team. Welcome back. The bear population is expanding into our area at a rate of 3 to 5 miles a year. The NC Wildlife Resources Commission says bears are already living and breeding just outside of the Triangle, as close as Franklin County. Wildlife officials warn that waterways and greenways can act as bear highways. Although the state tries to control the bear population largely through hunting, the population continues to grow. They say the best solution is for people to learn to live with the animals.
It's a new thing when a bear shows up in Raleigh and everybody kind of freaks out. I just encourage people, hey, if you see one, enjoy seeing it. You know, that's the best thing for me, and, you know, and then inform your neighbors.
According to the NC Wildlife Resources Commission, North Carolina is already home to more than 20,000 bears.
This What's Trending report is sponsored by Call Dad AC and Heating.
Healthcare workers are getting a special viewing and a new Supergirl trailer.
All right, let's dive in this morning on What's Trending.
This morning, an exciting treat for healthcare workers. Healthcare workers can see the season 2 finale of The Pit early in theaters. Warner Brothers and Alamo Drafthouse are teaming up for special screenings around the country.
And workers can see the finale for free on Monday, April 13th, if they reserve their seat with the purchase of a $10 food and beverage voucher. I think back home, back in Pittsburgh, the hospital that inspired The Pit, the show, like on HBO, they actually had free coffee for all the first responders who are out there. I mean, that show is a love letter to healthcare workers. And if you are a healthcare worker, we really appreciate everything that you do.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I can't wait to see. I've been hearing a lot about The Pit, so
fantastic show.
I'm going to add it to my list.
Well, we have a first look at the upcoming Supergirl movie. Warner Brothers and Discovery and DC and James Gunn unveiled that new trailer last night. Kara Zor-El, played by Amelia Alcock, battles the creme of Yellow Hills. There's the video right there. Jason Momoa made an appearance as the anti-hero Lobo. And I'm excited for the movie. Can't wait for it.
Anything involving Jason Momoa, I'm there. Even if it's a small role, I'm there. Okay.
And some people who are not privy to like the DC universe are like, wait, wasn't he Aquaman? Yes, he was. But then that DCU, it's gone. The Snyderverse is gone, and now this is the new one under James Gunn.
Yep, it'll be in theater worldwide this summer.
All right. The Garden Gateway at Duke Gardens, it is opening next Wednesday. And new renovations include a new welcome center, a cafe, indoor and outdoor classrooms, even parking 7 days a week. The main entrance is on Anderson Street. And just a reminder, if you are headed to the coast soon, the North Carolina ferry system increased its ferry runs. The Hatteras-Ocracoke route started its full summer schedule this week. Cedar Island, Swan Quarter, and Southport are also expanding service.
All right, we have more news ahead now at 6:30. Leading the pack, today NC State will introduce Justin Gainey as the new head coach. But students say his hiring offers the school's basketball program.
Plus, moon mission. We are hours away from what will become a historic launch. And North Carolina has part of that crew. Why that mission is such a big deal.
It feels like temperatures recently have been on the launch pad, too, as we see a stretch of 80s now through Easter Sunday, but some changes with a cold front that passes through on Easter Sunday. I'm going to walk you through those changes, why you shouldn't cancel all plans just yet, coming up.